It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I wasn't able to lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off. We fly in. He had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this, so he played it for me this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. The whole time I had been writing concepts, what would I say? How do I even remix this? What do I want to? So I had lines and I had things that I would have said, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm automatically I'm not saying that. That was my position.
Beyoncé is totally crushing it right now. First, she won a Grammy. How cool is that? Then she started the Cowboy Carter tour, and people are paying so much money for tickets, and it's selling like crazy. But that's not all. Her hair product line, SACRED, just launched at Ulta, and it's making way more money than anyone thought. 14 times more. And nope, these aren't made-up numbers. They're the real deal. Beyoncé is unstoppable. Guess what? Keri Hilson, who used to have some bad blood with her, has said sorry for making a mean song about her. She's really learned her lesson. And do you remember Esther Dean? I had to look her up myself. Anyway, Esther Dean also came out and said, that was all me, and I'm sorry. Beyoncé is having the best week ever. We don't know what's going on with Jay-Z in that court case, but hey, at least it got dismissed, right? That's good news. Now let's talk about something else. So there's this song by Keri Hilson called You're Turning Me On. When I first heard about it, I was like, wait, what? What song is this? And how is it supposed to be a diss to Beyoncé? I looked at the lyrics, and honestly, I didn't really get it. How is this even a diss? But here's the part people are talking about. She said something like, you need to go have some babies. She was basically saying Beyoncé should quit and start a family because she's not good anymore. People had been saying for years that she didn't write her own songs, and that really bothered her. So, for Keri Hilson to say what she said, it was a big deal. There was also another line in the song that stood out. Your vision cloudy. If you think you the best, you can dance, you can sing, but need to move to the left. Let's talk about that for a second. Esther Dean even spoke up about it later. But before we get into that, Keri Hilson said this whole situation led to her getting blackballed in her career. But honestly, there wasn't even much in the song. I really hope this isn't true. Oh, and if you don't know, Keri Hilson's album is supposed to be really good. I've heard the songs and they're awesome. You should totally check it out. So here's what happened. In a recent interview with The Breakfast Club, Keri talked about an old rumor. She shared that she regretted the situation and wanted people to know she didn't write those lyrics everyone was upset about. Keri explained that while she was on tour, a producer named Polo de Don, who worked on a lot of songs for Beyoncé, gave her a remix to sing. The remix was actually written by someone else, Esther Dean. Keri didn't really want to record it, but she felt like she had to because she was told her album wouldn't come out if she didn't. She felt like she didn't really have a choice back then because she was so young. But here's something cool to think about. Do you think Polo the Don tricked both of them? He made a big song with Keri Hilson, and it was a hit. Then Beyoncé started working with him too. Maybe Beyoncé wanted to show Keri she was still the bigger star, especially after people started saying Keri got blacklisted. Kind of crazy to think about, right? Esther Dean recently said sorry for something she did a long time ago, and a lot of people are talking about it. She shared that she jumped into a project where they were making songs for a remix and ended up writing one with someone else, Keri. Back then, she didn't think about how what she did might hurt other people, especially women. Now she realizes it wasn't the right thing to do. She said it was a little immature and that it doesn't look good now. Esther also said she takes full responsibility and has learned from her mistakes. Even though she's worked with and helped a lot of women since then, she knows it doesn't change what happened before. Her apology feels honest, and it's got people talking online. A lot of folks are having a bigger conversation about what it really means to support women. Some think that saying we should support women can sometimes be said in the wrong way. Supporting each other doesn't mean we all have to be perfect or act the same. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's okay to learn and try to be better. Apologies can be tricky sometimes. Back then, she was pretty young and probably had to follow a lot of rules and deal with a lot of pressure. Even later, she didn't really talk about it or take the blame. But maybe that's because it wasn't her decision to begin with. So it doesn't feel fair to blame her for everything. Now, she stayed quiet for a long, long time. And now that she's coming back with her big hit, she's finally speaking up. Don't get me wrong, I've always liked Keri Hilson. But instead of focusing only on Beyoncé, let's talk about how the music industry made her feel like she had to protect certain people. The wild thing is, she was looking out for the wrong folks all along. Now, some people are saying it's Beyoncé's fault, but nobody really knows the truth. It's hard to know what's real or who's right. People are saying there's some drama between Beyoncé and Keri Hilson, but honestly, what's really interesting is Esther. She had that big hit song, but now it seems like she doesn't care about making music anymore. Meanwhile, Polo the Don is busy working with Beyoncé. This whole thing feels like one of those "where are they now?" shows where they check on old stars to see what they're up to these days. Everyone's curious about what's going on, but they're tired of hearing the same old stuff about Beyoncé. People want something fresh, something new to talk about. In the end, Keri decided to speak up. If Beyoncé really hurt her career that much, don't you think she would have apologized a long time ago? But instead, Keri chose to stand by the people in the music industry who didn't really help her career at all. I don't know. What do you all think? Tell me in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to stream Keri Hilson's album. I heard it's a really nice album. From what I understand, Tiffany Red might have helped write 2 or 3 songs on it, or maybe even more. She's such a talented songwriter, so it wouldn't surprise me if she had a hand in crafting some of the standout tracks. Go ahead and give Keri Hilson a listen, not Esther Dean. No shade to Esther. She's incredible in her own right, but I think Keri deserves a little extra love right now. She's been through enough over the years, and whatever slowed down her career, whether it was industry politics or personal struggles, let's just welcome her back with open arms, okay? Honestly, it feels like the perfect time for some of these artists to make a comeback. Remember that one song, One Thing? It was such a massive hit, so funky, so fresh. It's a classic that still gets people moving even today. I'd love to hear her bring that same energy back to the scene. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who are you listening to lately?